Peace Reflections. You are over here with Tarithia. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the follow button, depending on which platform you are on. Okay? Today or tonight, whenever you click this video, we are talking about Law 27, how not to become the fool. Well, the original name of this law is how to create a cult-like following. But in order to follow in a cult, to me, it's kind of like sheep. Okay, and we all know where do sheep end up. They end up in the slaughterhouse. Reflection. So don't become the fool. Okay, so what do I mean? Not saying people that are in cults are fools, but at the same time, you should never follow anything. Reflection. And if you're not clicking the follow button, then you shouldn't be following anything. You should look for nothing outside of self. Anything that you find outside of self is only a mere confirmation. Okay, so anything outside of self is only a confirmation. Reflection. You should never go searching for answers about you or about things concerning you and your journey and how you can ascend. Reflection. All the answers that you need are within self. Okay, all the answers that you need are already encoded in you. All you have to do is do your shadow work and your keys will be unlocked. Okay, I said your keys will be unlocked. Your keys will be found and the doors will be unlocked. Okay, so knowledge is power, and power can become very dangerous. Now, you know how some people say that people will gatekeep information. People gatekeep information. So I'm one of those people. Reflections. I think certain information deserves to be gatekeeped. And why do I think that? Because knowledge is power, and power can become very dangerous if it if the wrong information or the right information is in the wrong hands. Okay, so if you put a powerful tool or a powerful incantation or just different things like that into the wrong hands, reflection, that can become very dangerous. Take spell work out of. If you put a blueprint, just think you've created this great blueprint, but you created this machine, but you want this machine to be for healthcare. Okay, you want this machine to help other people, but this same machine, because it's duality and everything, this same machine can let's say it causes off a lot of radiation if you maybe put it on this function, or if you amp it up to this function right here. You get what I'm saying? Reflection. So it can be used for bad, and that very same machine can be used for good. It just depends on who hands the machine is really in. Okay, so knowledge is power, and power can become dangerous. Okay, do not become the fool and search for the tool. What do I mean when I say do not become the fool and search for the tool? When you start looking for things, what do tools do? Tools fix things. Reflection. Tools fix things. They can even upgrade things. When you are looking for upgrades and you are looking for things to fix self-reflection outside of self, you can be prone to become a fool. Because what is that? A fool is not sometimes what people think. It is a person that is in an illusion, kind of in an illusion. All right, and sometimes illusions can look very, very real. All right, so what do I mean when I say illusions can look very, very real? Let's go back to the ancient Greeks. Now, the cosmetology of the ancient Greeks was that the gods were thought to have complete visions into the future. They saw everything to come right down to the intricate details. Men, on the other hand, were seen as victims of fate, trapped in the moment and their emotions, unable to see beyond the immediate dangers. Those heroes, such as Odysseus, who were able to look beyond the present and plan several steps ahead, seemed to defy fate, to approximate the gods in their ability to determine the future. Okay, reflection. So think about it like that. This is a law that has been used all throughout time. Okay, now I actually want to tell you a story. I want to tell you a story about this particular law. Let's talk about it. Okay, now this is a story about an owl who they thought was God. Okay, they thought that the owl was God. Once upon a time, on a starless midnight, there was an owl who sat on the branch of an oak tree. Two ground moles tried to slip quietly unnoticed. "You," said the owl. "Who?" said the squirrels, in fear and astonishment, for they could not believe it was possible for anyone to see them through through the thick darkness. You too, said the owl. The moles hurried away and told the other creature of the field and the forest that the owl was the greatest and the wisest of them all animals because he could see in the dark. Okay, so they were unaware. They didn't have the knowledge to know that owls can see in the dark reflection. So they thought, oh my goodness, how did the owl see us? He must be the all-seeing God. He must be God. Okay, so looking for answers outside of yourself. Okay, remember, knowledge is power. So let's keep going. And it says, I'll see about that, said the secretary bird. And he called on the owl one night when he was again in the dark. How many claws am I holding up, said the secretary bird. 2, said the owl. And that was right. Can you give me another expression for that to say? And namely, asked the secretary bird. To wit, said the owl. Why does a lover call on his love? Asked the secretary bird. To who? Said the owl. The secretary bird hastened back to the other creatures and reported that the owl was indeed the greatest and the wisest animal in the world because he could see in the dark and because he could answer any question. Can he see in the daytime too? Asked the red fox. Yes, echoed the dormouse and the French poultry. Can he see in the daytime too? All the other creatures laughed loudly at this silly question, and they set upon the red fox and his friends and drove them out of the region. So everybody thought, not knowing that owls can see at night reflection, everybody thought that this owl had a superpower. Everybody thought that this owl had to be God. Okay, so they all believed that reflection. All right. So everybody was just coming over to this owl and they just thought, oh my goodness, he has to be the one. He has to be God. How do he know all of these things? Okay. So this goes to a story reflection, letting you know that you can too, you can fool too many of the people too much of the time. Okay. So he kept fooling people. He kept fooling people. It wasn't that he didn't know. Keep in mind, what do owls do? They who? So the man, when the fox came over there asking him certain questions, it wasn't, he didn't know if it was right or wrong. Reflection, he could have said who. He would have knew if it was right or wrong because he didn't know the answer anyway. He was going to the owl for not for confirmation, but for solid facts. Okay, he was just asking the owl things that he didn't even know. So how would you know if they're wrong or not? He stood the fact of becoming the fool because he started looking for information outside of self when he should have been looking for the owl for confirmation and not the core information. Okay, so that is a way reflection. That's one of those story times that I definitely wanted to read to you about a time when a person or well, these were animals in this case, became a fool. Okay, looking for information outside of self. Okay, so what do you think about this reflection? What do you think about this? Think about it like that, how the owl was even able to fool them. Law 27 says, adapt to people's needs. The Messiah must mirror the desire of his followers and always aim high. The bigger and bolder your illusion, the better. Keep in mind, when the fox was asking the owl all these questions, the owl was answering them with confidence. He wasn't thinking about it or anything. He was just answering with confidence. Okay. And he felt like, okay, if this is what they want, if that is what they want is answers, then yes, I'm going to give them answers until they figure out that I am not who they really think I am. So that goes back to the bigger and the bolder your illusion is, the better reflection. Okay, so what do you think about this? What do you think about this particular law? Law 27 says, do not become the fool. Do not become the fool and look for nothing outside of self. Anything outside of self is merely what? It's confirmation reflection. Everything that you already need is within. Okay, so don't become the fool in search for the tool. Until next time, Ashe.